There is a version of success that looks incredible from the outside and feels completely isolating from the inside. The more famous a person becomes, the more people surround them. Assistants, managers, publicists, fans, collaborators, an endless stream of human contact. And yet, the most consistent thing you hear from people who have reached significant levels of fame is that they have never felt more alone. The relationships that existed before the fame started changing in ways nobody warned them about. The people they trusted started behaving differently. The dynamic in their closest connections shifted in ways that were difficult to name but impossible to ignore. And the higher they climbed, the harder it became to find a single person they could be completely honest with. So what exactly does fame do to the people closest to you? And why does it almost always end the same way? This video is going to take you through exactly how fame affects relationships at every level. Romantic relationships, friendships, family. We are going to look at the patterns, the psychology, and the specific dynamics that play out when one person's public identity grows faster than the private relationships around them. This is not a celebrity gossip video. This is a human story that plays out at every level of visibility, from the person with 100,000 followers to the person with 100 million. By the end, you will understand why fame and genuine connection are so difficult to maintain simultaneously, and what the pattern looks like before it becomes irreversible. Stay until the final section, because what we cover there is the part that explains why so many famous people end up making the same painful decisions over and over again. Romantic relationships are the first place the damage shows up, and often the last place the famous person expects it. In the early stages of rising fame, the relationship often looks fine. The partner is supportive. The connection feels solid. But underneath, a quiet imbalance is beginning to form. One person's world is expanding rapidly. New cities, new circles, new experiences arriving at a pace the relationship was never designed to absorb. The other person is standing still, watching someone they love become someone increasingly unfamiliar. This creates a tension that is almost impossible to articulate without sounding unsupportive. The partner cannot say they resent the success without feeling like the villain. The famous person cannot slow down without feeling like they are sacrificing everything they worked for. And so neither conversation happens. The distance grows in silence. Then there is the attention problem. Fame brings external validation at a scale most people are not psychologically prepared for. Constant admiration, constant desirability, from strangers who only see the curated version. That volume of external attention changes how a person sees themselves, and it changes what they expect from a relationship. The ordinary moments of a real partnership start feeling insufficient against the backdrop of constant public adoration. And that gap between what the relationship offers and what the fame provides quietly widens until it becomes irreparable. Friendships are where the pattern becomes most visible and most painful, because friendships are built on a foundation of equality, shared experience, mutual vulnerability. The sense that both people are navigating life at roughly the same level. Fame destroys that foundation systematically. The moment one person in a friendship group reaches a significantly different level of visibility or wealth, the dynamic changes whether anyone admits it or not. Old friends start to feel uncomfortable asking for things they would have asked for without hesitation before, or they start asking for more than they ever would have before. Both responses are rooted in the same shift. They no longer see their friend. They see the famous version of their friend, and the famous person feels this change acutely. They watch people they have known for years become either more distant or more transactional. They start questioning every interaction. Is this person here because they value me, or because of what I represent now? That question once it takes root, is almost impossible to silence, and it poisons even the genuine connections because trust, once it starts eroding, is extraordinarily difficult to rebuild. But here's the part that connects everything, and we will get there. Family relationships are the most complicated of all because family carries history, shared identity, and in many cases, a version of you that existed long before the fame arrived. For some famous people, family becomes the one place they can still feel normal, grounded, seen as a person rather than a public figure. But for many others, fame introduces a set of pressures into family dynamics that the relationships were never built to handle. Money becomes complicated. When one family member earns significantly more than the rest, expectations form that are rarely spoken aloud but consistently felt. The famous person feels the pull to provide. The family members feel the discomfort of receiving. Or they feel entirely entitled to receiving, which creates a different kind of damage. Identity becomes complicated too. Families have a fixed image of who you are. The sibling who used to be ordinary, the child who used to need guidance. Fame disrupts that image, and not every family knows how to update it gracefully. Some members hold tighter to the old version of you as a way of maintaining their position in the relationship. Others feel left behind entirely. Both responses create distance that can calcify over years into something that feels permanent. Here is what ties everything together, and this is the part that explains why the pattern repeats so consistently across so many famous people's lives. Fame is a psychological experience as much as it is a social one. It changes how a person sees themselves, how they read other people's intentions, and what they believe they deserve from the relationships around them. The constant external validation that comes with fame creates a feedback loop. The famous person begins to associate their worth with their visibility. When the public attention is high, they feel significant. When it drops, even briefly, they feel hollow. And relationships, which operate on a much quieter frequency than public adoration, start to feel insufficient as a source of identity and validation. This is why so many famous people cycle through relationships at a pace that seems reckless from the outside. They are not careless people. They are people whose sense of self has become dependent on a level of stimulation that ordinary human connection cannot match. And until that psychological pattern is identified and addressed directly, no relationship, romantic, friendship, or family can survive it intact. Fame does not ruin relationships because famous people are flawed. It ruins them because the conditions fame creates are genuinely hostile to the things relationships need to survive: equality, consistency, genuine vulnerability, mutual trust. Every one of these is disrupted by the experience of becoming publicly significant. The romantic partner watches someone they love drift toward a world they cannot fully access. The old friends feel the ground shift beneath a connection they thought was permanent. The family struggles to reconcile the person they raised with the person the world now recognizes. And the famous person, surrounded by more people than ever, quietly loses their grip on the connections that once made them feel most human. The pattern is not inevitable, but breaking it requires the kind of self-awareness that fame actively discourages. It requires choosing depth over breadth, choosing honesty over image, and choosing to protect relationships with the same deliberateness used to build a career. Most people figure that out too late. A few figure it out just in time. If this video made you think differently about fame, success, and what it costs the people living it, there is another video on this channel that goes deeper into the hidden price of public visibility. Go watch it next. And if you are not subscribed yet, do it now. This is the kind of content we put out every single week, and you do not want to miss what is coming.